their homes and traveling to the U.S. Well, here are some of those people sharing firsthand why they're risking so much to come to America.
I ask the U.S. government that they give us an opportunity because we need it. In the name of God. We have kids and they stay in our country and going through the things that we go through, like hunger, crisis and need, everything like I told you. It's very critical, and especially for someone like me that, well, if you have, then that's fine. But like us, we're fighters and live day to day. It's very hard. First off, the dream for my kids is to have what I didn't have, and to give them the best in education, for them to keep moving forward, that they become professionals, that they can defend themselves, and to be someone in the future. Fighters. To give them all the necessities that they need.
There is no future in Honduras. There isn't jobs for young people. And we were threatened there by gangs that wanted us to work with them. And we don't want to because we are humble people and we want to work legally. So we came here for the American dream. We are suffering but always moving forward, wanting to work.
Now, those were some of the people at the heart of this crisis. They're sharing their stories in their own words of why they're coming here to America.
Hi, everyone.
Shalom. Call Halal Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Yahweh Bashim Yahushai brought the thumb to the hopefully elect. And basically a message to the northern tribes, man. Because this is just another one of those topics. And I was watching a series of videos just dealing with how a lot of the northern tribes flocking to the borders of America for help. All right, because a lot of the northern tribes, man, they you see, this is why a lot of the northern tribes, man, they're gonna get judged by Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, because for one, again, they put their trust in Jesus Christos, right? That white image, right? Heavily, all right. Our people, they're heavily in that type of spirit. And for one thing, man, dealing with the northern tribes, a lot of them, like I said, they're gonna end up getting jacked up, man, because they can't accept the fact that the Heavenly Father and the only begotten Son are so-called black men. All right, because this beef with the northern tribes and the southern, the northern kingdom and the southern kingdom, which stems all the way when you go back to King Solomon. All right, after he died, that's when the nation was split into two kingdoms: the northern kingdom, which consisted mostly of the Hispanic, North American, Seminole Indian tribes, and then the southern kingdom, the so-called Haitians, West Indies, so-called Negroes, right? This beef between the northern and the southern kingdom, all right, which trickles down all the way up into today's day and age, all right. And again, a lot of the fact that a lot of the northern kingdom, they can't accept the fact that the Lord is a so-called black man. A lot of our own people dealing with the northern tribes, they can't stand a so-called black man, all right. And hey, pretty much you got a problem, because again, the Lord is a so-called black man. So this is why, like I said, a lot of those northern tribes, man, they're heavily in the Jesus Christos, that Cesare Borgia image, which of course America pushes that very heavily. So again, this is why a lot of the northern kingdoms, man, flocking to America, which is spiritual Egypt, for help. All right. But a lot of those northern kingdoms, man, they don't even understand that, because for one, a lot of them are going to end up coming over here. A lot of them are actually going to make it past the borders. A lot of them are going to make it over here, but they don't understand that it's for them to be judgment. They have no idea that they're coming over here just to receive their judgment. All right, because for one, when you go to Hosea, and you see, this is why a lot of them come over here, man, and separated from their families, and because when you look at the so-called border crisis, a lot of the children are separated from the parents. And what do you think? What do you think Esau's doing to them kids, man? A lot of them get abducted. What do you think is going on? What do you think is happening? But nevertheless, this is what's happening. This is what's I forgot what I was gonna get. What was that? Hosea, chapter 9. I'll start at verse 1. It says, "Rejoice not, O Israel, for joy as other people, for thou hast gone a whoring from thy power. Thou hast loved a reward upon every corn floor. The floor and the winepress shall not feed them, and the new wine shall fail in her." All right. It says, "They shall not dwell in Yahweh's land, but Ephraim shall return to Egypt, and they shall eat unclean things in Assyria." All right. And Ephraim being the so-called Puerto Ricans, which is the top tribe of the Northern Kingdom. All right. But basically dealing with Ephraim, which is just another name for the Northern Kingdom. All right, dealing with all the Northern Kingdom, all his so-called Hispanic tribes. All right, because at one point, because like I said before, a lot of at one point, like in the land of Puerto Rico, right, and as well as the other Hispanic tribes in their lands, at one point, they were pretty much able to sustain themselves, but like I said, because they turned their back on Yahweh Shemel Shai, it's not so. This is why a lot of the Northern Kingdoms, a lot of the Northern tribes, man, they're suffering food crisis, suffering all type of hell, man, because again, they're heavily in that Jesus Christos, man, And like I just said here, verse 3 says, "They shall not dwell in Yahweh's land, but Ephraim shall return to Egypt." So you see, again, like it says in Isaiah 30 and Isaiah 31, woe to them that go down to Egypt for help, right? It says, "And they shall eat unclean things in Assyria." It says, "They shall not offer wine offerings to Yahweh, neither shall they be pleasing unto him. Their sacrifices shall be unto them as the bread of mourners. All that eat thereof shall be polluted. For their bread, for their soul shall not come into the house of Yahweh. What will ye do in the solemn day and in the day of the feast of Yahweh? For lo, they are gone because of destruction. Egypt shall gather them up. Memphis shall bury them, the pleasant places for their silver. Nettles shall possess them, thorns shall be their tabernacles. The days of their visitation are come, the days of recompense are come. Israel shall know it. The prophet is a fool, the spiritual man is mad, from the multitude of thine iniquity and the great hatred." To get to the point, well, let me read verse 9. Hosea 9:9, it says, "They have deeply corrupted themselves as in the days of Gibeah. Therefore, he will remember their iniquity. He will visit their sins." And this is, again, what's getting ready to happen. Because, again, a lot of the northern tribes, they don't even know that they're coming over here for their own demise, for their own destruction. All right? They're coming over here to receive their judgment. Because, again, they're... At one point, when you go back to the Assyrian captivity, a lot of those Jakes, more so from the northern tribes, they have fled over here to the Americas, because this part of the earth wasn't really, our forefathers knew about this land. All right. They had knowledge about this land. So when the Assyrians came in to take the northern kingdom into captivity, a lot of those northern tribes, they fled over here to the Americas. All right. And at first they were, keeping the law, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Shemel Shai. When the what do you call it? Basically when Esau came over here to conquer the northern tribes, they found them speaking Hebrew. All right, they observed the Israelites over here speaking Hebrew. So at one point, and they were keeping the Hebrew customs and whatnot. But like I said, In the beginning, when they first came over here, they were, doing what they were supposed to do. But throughout time, that's when a lot of the northern tribes, man, they started dipping and dabbling and committing human sacrifices and doing all type of wicked abominations. All right, you know, um, and this is why, again, the Lord sent the conquistadors over here to judge them, to judge the northern tribes, right? But again, even up until this day, man, it's still something that a lot of the northern tribes, man. I watched the movie, what's it called, Tax Collector, with Shia LaBeouf. He was in it. But basically, this movie going into, I think it was Issachar. I could be wrong, but basically one of the Hispanic tribes, and it really showed, which it kind of caught me up by surprise, because the movie it showed some of the wickedness that a lot of the Hispanic tribes, what they indulge in. Because like I said, a lot of the Hispanic tribes, like you watch movies like Apocalypto, that gives you a little glimpse of what what our people were really doing. And this is why, like I said, this is why the Lord sent the conquistadors over here to judge them. And even up until this day, because a lot of our people, they're still practicing these wicked abominations, committing human sacrifices. Going back to the movie I was talking about, the tax collector, it actually showed some of the level of wickedness that our people, what they do, man. So like I said, man, a lot of those Hispanic tribes, man, they still indulge in that stuff. They're still heavy under that Jesus Christos umbrella, man. And not Yahweh Shemel Shah. So this is why when you read on down, verse 10, it says, I found Israel like grapes in the wilderness. I saw your fathers as the first ripe in the fig tree at her first time. But they went to Baal Peor and separated themselves unto that shame. And their abominations were according as they loved. And you see, man, dealing with the wickedness of the northern tribes, man, something that they take pride in it, man. They because again, at one point, hey, man, hey, Yahweh Shemel Shah, man, the Heavenly Father took care of Jake, man. But like the scriptures talk about how your sins separate you from Yahweh Shemel Shah, man. And it's to the point now where, well, when you read on, it tells you, verse 11, it says, as for Ephraim, it says, their glory shall fly away like a bird from the birth, and from the womb, and from the conception. Though they bring up their children, yet will I bereave them, that there shall not be a man left. Yea, woe also to them when I depart from them. So you see, man, all right, like I said, a lot of those northern Hispanic tribes, man, they come over here. A lot of the kids are getting abducted, man, and God knows what, is happening to them children that are, getting separated from their families, getting abducted. Only the Lord knows, man. But nevertheless, this is part of the punishment that the northern tribes, they have to face, they have to deal with. When you read verse 13, it says, Ephraim, as I saw Tyrus, is planted in a pleasant place, but Ephraim shall bring forth his children to the murderer. So you see, and who's the murderer? Esau. All right. Like I said, man, bringing Jake, man, those northern kingdoms, man, those northern tribes are flocking over here to the borders of America, and all they're doing is bringing their children to the murderer, man. Because again, ultimately, a lot of them are going to end up making it over here just to get judged, just to be put to death, ultimately. And you see, they have no idea, man. They have no idea what they're setting themselves up for. Because like the Jake said, man, trying to come over here for the American dream. Well, they're about to find out it's a living nightmare. All right, they're about to find this out. Verse 14, it says, give them, O Yahweh, what will thou give? Give them a miscarrying womb and dry breast. All their wickednesses in Gilgal, for there I hated them. For the wickedness of their doings I will drive them out of mine house. I will love them no more. All their princes are revolters. So you see, again, man, like I said, it got to the point where Jake's level of wickedness, it got to the point where the Lord don't want to deal with these people no more, man. All right. The Lord is tired of these. He's tired of his own people. All right. Like I just said, man, hey, it says, for there I hated them. So, hey, the Lord is going to hand them over to the slayer. All right. Because, hey, that sword, man, is being sharpened. The sword is being sharpened. It's about to be given to the handler to handle it, man. The murderer, man. Verse 16 says, Ephraim is smitten, their root is dried up, they shall bear no fruit. Yea, though they bring forth, yet will I slay even the beloved fruit of their womb. My power will cast them away, because they did not hearken unto him. And they shall be wanderers among the nations. All right, because again, they're like I said, one point, these different places like Puerto Rico and all these different places that the northern tribes they dwell at, they were, the lands were very beautiful, fruitful. They were able to sustain themselves, but because they, committing all type of wicked abominations against Yahweh Shem Shah, now they got to go to the other nations and need into one of all things, and even more so Esau. All right, they gotta go to Esau for all these things, man. Food, supplies, so on and so forth. But hey, man, this is what you get when you turn your back on Yahweh Shem Shah, man. Them curses ultimately, right? And this is what a lot of the northern tribes are suffering. I'm gonna go back one chapter, I'm gonna go back to Hosea, the 7th chapter, and I'm gonna read verse 11. Hosea 7:11. It says, Ephraim also is like a silly dove without heart. They call to Egypt, they go to Assyria. So you see, again, all right, because again, dealing with the northern kingdom, man, the northern tribes, man, it's like they just basically like sheep without a shepherd, man. They're just lost and just going, because Jake is simple, man. All right, and this is why we need to be led. This is why we need a shepherd, because Jake, again, if you just let a shepherd, or you let a sheep a sheep without a shepherd, man, that sheep, man, it's just gonna go anywhere, man. And that's how Ephraim, the northern tribes, man, they just lost. They're just lost in the sauce, man. They think they're coming out here for a better life, all right, with American dreams, so on and so forth, and they have no idea, man. Because Jake is simple as hell. Verse 12, it says, when they shall go, I will spread my net upon them. I will bring them down as the fowls of the heaven. I will chastise them as their congregation hath heard. Woe unto them, for they have fled from me, destruction unto them, because they have transgressed against me. Though I have redeemed them, yet they have spoken lies against me. All right, and again, pretty much like how I read in Hosea the 9th chapter, where it talks about how what did it say, man? When I talked about how trying to look for it, when it talked about how they were like grapes in the wilderness, because again, Yahweh Shem Shah, man, hey, he took care of Jake, but look how they treated Yahweh Shem Shah. Look what they did to the Heavenly Father, man. Just completely, openly disrespectful, man. And they're proud about it. That's the thing. Not only is Jake wicked, but they're boastful about it. All right, they're proud about their wickedness. And again, this is why Yahweh Shem Shah, man, he has to judge these 2/3, man. Verse 14, it says, and they have not cried unto me with their heart when they howled upon their beds. They assembled themselves for corn and wine, and they rebel against me. Though I have bound and strengthened their arms, yet do they imagine mischief against me. They return, but not to the Most High. They are like a deceitful bow. The princes shall fall by their sword in the rage of their tongue, and this shall be their derision in the land of Egypt. So you see, again, man, because again, they think they're coming here for a better life and all this other nonsense, or they're going to unfortunately find out the very hard way. All right, because going back to what I quoted in Isaiah, I think that was chapter 31. It talks about how their trust in Egypt is going to be to their shame. All right, as well as all the tribes, man, northern and the southern kingdoms, because hey, ever since Joe Biden got in office, man, hey, man, the southern kingdom, hey, man, they throwing fucking what do you call it, barbecues and whatnot. Jake, man, they really on something. They really thought they got like a victory, And when you read this whole book of Hosea, man, this whole book of Hosea kind of really goes in on the northern kingdom, But yeah, man, this is what's happening. I read Hosea 9 and 13. That was the point. It said, Ephraim, as I saw Tyrus, is planted in a pleasant place, but Ephraim shall bring forth his children to the murderer. So you see, Jake, them Hispanic tribes, they don't even know they're coming over here just to be put to death. They don't even know that. They don't even understand that. Because who was a murderer from the beginning? Cain. And who was the seed of Cain today? Right? Esau, Edom. All right. I'm gonna get this in Judges, because again, them Hispanic tribes, man. All right. They put their trust heavily in that Jesus Christus, man. Heavily, man. And again, because like I said, a lot of those Hispanic tribes, they have a disdain for the Southern Kingdom, right? When we're the same people, man. Because hey, man, to these northern tribes, man, to you northern tribes, man, hey, man, you suffer, you go through the same shit that we go through. All right, you Hispanic tribes, man, y'all are, we catching the same hell, which shows that we are the same people, man. We're all one nation, man. So your disdain for the Southern Kingdom, which again, the so-called Negroes, Haitians, West Indies, right? Ultimately, it's going to be to your demise again, because the Lord is a so-called black man. A lot of you Hispanic tribes, you have a hard time fathoming that. You have a hard time accepting that. Because of your disdain for the so-called black man, your own brothers, man. But I'm gonna get this in Judges chapter 10 and verse 13. It says, Yet ye have forsaken me and served other gods, wherefore I will deliver you no more. So you see, again, because the Lord is tired, man. He's tired of his people. All right, and hey, this is why, like I said, ultimately the Lord, he has to get rid of the wicked 2/3, and that's what you're ultimately coming over here for, to receive your judgment. And you see a lot of those jakes, they're crying out, they're suffering, right? But when you read verse 14, it says, Go and cry unto the gods which ye have chosen. Let them deliver you in the time of your tribulation. All right, so go cry to your Jesus Christos, man. Because a lot of those northern tribes, man, they're Roman Catholics. So you see, man, hella wicked, man. A lot of them are Roman Catholics. So, hey, man, go cry. Oh, go cry, Bloody Mary or whatever, whatever they do in these wicked churches, man. Go cry to your gods, man. When Yahweh Shemel Shai brings this destruction upon you, go cry to your gods that you trust in so dearly, so much. That's what the Lord's saying, man. Don't call on me, call on those. Go call on those gods that you rely on so much, man. When when the Lord brings this death and destruction upon you, don't call on me. And that's really, for all you tribes, man. Because hey, like I said, a lot of the Southern Kingdom, man, hey, a lot of them they're still on that Cedric Borgia juice too, man. Going to church a Sunday, thinking that they worshiping the Lord and all that stuff, man. But yeah, man, this is just a message to the Northern Kingdom, man. You so-called Hispanics, man. Yeah, man, you coming over here just to receive your judgment. You don't even know it. And if anything, it's best you stay where you're at, because been saying this lately, man. America's going to be the worst place to be on earth very soon, man. America's going to be it's going to get bad out here. You think Cuba's suffering? You think Venezuela and all these other places are going through hell? America's going to be the worst place to be very soon. So it's best for you to stay where you're at and put your trust in Yahweh Shemel Shai. And this is to, any of the elect that may be, scattered, because you do got members of the elect scattered abroad in, these different nations or whatnot. So to the elect, all right, to whom this may concern, it's better just stay where you're at. Don't try to come over here, man. Stay where you're at and put your trust in Yahweh Shemel Shai. All right. So hopefully this was edifying, giving all acknowledgement once again to Yahweh Shemel Shai. Until next time, Lord's will, I say shalom.